326 BCE, Alexander the Great stands at the Indus River. He has never lost a battle, not once. In 11 years of warfare, Persia, Egypt, Central Asia, Bactria, the greatest empire the world has ever seen, all of it conquered. And he is about to meet an Indian king who will do something nobody has done before. Stop him. Alexander of Macedon, born 356 BCE, on the throne at age 20, at war immediately. The Macedonian phalanx, the most effective military formation in the ancient world. A wall of 18-foot spears, moving. At Gaugamela, Darius of Persia, the greatest army in the ancient world, destroyed in a single afternoon. For 11 years, his army did not stop. West to east, Greece to Persia, to Egypt, to Bactria, always east. (326 BCE), the army enters India through the Khyber Pass. Below them, the Punjab, the same land where Yudh fought 1,000 years before. Most of the Punjab tribes submitted. They had heard what happens to those who resist. But on the eastern bank of the Hydaspes River, one king did not. The Hydaspes River, June 326 BCE. On the far bank, King Porus, waiting. It was monsoon season. The Hydaspes was swollen, fast, and violent. Crossing it under fire would have been near suicide. His name was Porus, king of the Paurava kingdom, 6 feet 4 inches tall. On a war elephant, he was a force of nature. Porus had one weapon Alexander had never faced: war elephants, 200 of them, each one a living siege weapon. Porus positioned himself perfectly. Elephants at the front to terrify the horses, infantry behind, deep and wide, cavalry on both flanks. He had read Alexander correctly. For days, the two armies watched each other across the river. Alexander could not cross in daylight. Porus would destroy him in the water. So Alexander waited. Alexander ran false crossings. Night after night, he marched troops to the bank with torches and noise, then pulled them back until Porus stopped reacting. He found it. 17 miles upstream, a wooded headland hiding a narrow bend. A ford Porus couldn't see from his position. The night of June 326 BCE, a storm began. Alexander used it. He moved his entire strike force upstream in total darkness and silence. The crossing took hours, in driving rain, in darkness, across a monsoon-swollen river. When dawn broke, Alexander was on the far bank. Dawn broke. A rider reached Porus. Alexander was across, to the north, and he was coming south, fast. Porus made the right decision. He advanced to meet Alexander on open ground. He assembled his full force. The battle would happen here. The two armies faced each other. Alexander, who had never lost. Porus, who had never submitted. One of them was about to experience something new. Alexander sent his best cavalry to the extreme left flank, hidden behind his own lines. When the elephants charged the center, the cavalry would hit the flank. The elephants charged, exactly as Alexander predicted. His horses panicked, but his infantry opened their ranks, let the elephants through, then surrounded them. On the flank, Alexander's cavalry hit the Indian horsemen from the side. The Indian cavalry collapsed. Porus was now being attacked from two directions. The trapped elephants turned. In their panic, they began killing their own men. The weapon that should have ended Alexander was destroying Porus's own army. Porus did not retreat. With arrows in his body, his army collapsing, he stayed on his elephant and kept fighting. Alexander sent a messenger. He had stopped the battle. He wanted to meet Porus, while Porus was still on his elephant. Alexander rode to meet him. He looked up at the wounded Indian king, still on his elephant. He asked, "How do you wish to be treated?" Porus said, "Like a king." Alexander returned Porus's kingdom, then gave him more territory. He had never done this for any defeated king. Porus became an ally, not a subject. Then the army refused. 8 years from home. 30,000 miles marched. They would not go further east. Alexander wept and turned back. Alexander the Great, the man who had never looked backward, turned his horse west. India had not been conquered. It never would be. Alexander reached Babylon 3 years later. He was 32 years old. He died there of fever, never having returned to Greece. Porus did not just survive. He stopped the only military force that might have changed India's history. Everything east of the Hydaspes remained Indian. Magadha, Pataliputra, the Nanda Empire, the civilization of the Gangetic Plain never saw a Macedonian soldier because of what happened at the Hydaspes. A young man watched Alexander come and watched him go. His name was Chandragupta Maurya. He had learned everything he needed to know. The pattern appears again. Alexander won at Hydaspes for the same reason Sudas won at Dasharajnya. Superior intelligence, surprise, unity of command. Porus was different. He fought Alexander better than anyone else had. He simply faced an opponent who had 17 years of perfect information about how to break any formation. The lesson of Hydaspes, as at Dasharajnya, is not strength versus strength. It is information versus assumption. The side that knows what is coming wins. Alexander left behind something unexpected, a fusion. Greek cities in the Punjab, Greek styles merging with Indian forms. The Gandharan Buddha, a Greek face, an Indian soul. Porus left behind something rarer. He showed that dignity in defeat can be more powerful than victory. Alexander never forgot him. Within 2 years of Alexander leaving, Chandragupta Maurya seized power. He built the first empire to unite almost all of India. What Alexander tried to conquer, an Indian did. Three battles, 3,000 years of the same question. Who controls this land? And why does it always come down to the same answer? But the Maurya Empire would not last forever. From the north, a new force was gathering. Warriors the Indian subcontinent had never faced before. Next on Bharat ke Yudh, they called them the White Huns. They came from nowhere. They fought like nothing India had seen. And they would do something Alexander could not: get through the mountains. Episode 4, The White Huns. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Bharat ke Yudh, the wars that made India.